how VeLL never gon' change. You don't know ass nigga, that be the gang. Same nigga I used to be. Fried niggas get used to me. Dead man if you fool with me. Say that for your eulogy. Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy VeLL, and we are back with another Mobile Legends video. This is actually going to be part 2 to the interview that I did with Gemik, and I do want to just say this is kind of a sadder video. So I understand if you don't want to kind of listen to the whole thing all the way through or something like that. I really understand because it's kind of sad to hear, but at the same time, it is pretty inspirational. So I just do want to say that Akosi Dogie, I think that Gemik would agree, is probably the most talented person in the Mobile Legends community. Like, I said that back when I was the biggest Mobile Legends YouTuber, and yes, before y'all start cracking jokes, it was a point in time where I was the biggest Mobile Legends YouTuber. The only person that was bigger in size was Blue Panda, but even I was growing faster than him and getting more views and stuff than him. But yes, there was a point in time, and then even then I said that Akosi Dogie was going to be the biggest Mobile Legends YouTuber in the future. I said it then, and I always knew he would. There's not another personality like him. He's a very, very talented guy. He's hilarious. He was a super cool guy. My experiences with him has always been positive. Never anything too crazy with him. I've always just had great experiences with him. Gemik, he's just going to be telling his side of a situation that happened when it came to the rise of Bren Esports and stuff like that. And you're basically going to get the behind the scenes of what happened with that experience. So yeah, we were in the middle of the interview, and I was basically asking him about a bunch of different things, and this came up, so I wanted him to be able to get it off of his chest. And hopefully at some point in the future we can get Akosi together and Gemik together and they can talk through this. So yeah, things can be better because they were really close friends. They were really close at one point in time. So hopefully we can get them back together as friends and this can turn out positive. But honestly, that's pretty much it for the little intro. Make sure you all drop that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new for more Mobile Legends content. All of the content won't be this super serious and sad, but yeah, this one is. So yeah, hopefully it's not too bothersome for any of you all. So yeah, let's jump into it. But actually, let's move into talking a little bit about your experience with Akosi Dogie and Bren Esports. Like, how did that go? What was that experience like working with them?
So me and Doggy and well, at some extent iFlex, before I decided to stay on AOV, we had this idea of doing a FaZe clan style group of YouTuber in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got the opportunity, no, it wasn't he got the opportunity. I told him we should really go to Philippines because you speak Filipino, you could start a business there, and just go there and start to make content, recruit a professional team, and just maybe turn professional ourselves there in the Philippines and play MPL and start making hella content together, like something funny, something people can relate to, and just market it like some sort of FaZe Clan piece, but for Mobile Legend, right? If you don't know FaZe Clan, they do this kind of thing. They do vlogs, they do entertaining stuff, they do gaming related stuff, they do events, they have professional teams, they do a lot of stuff. They have merchandising, they have gaming houses, and that's what I wanted to do, but for Mobile Legend and for gaming, for mobile gaming, and for Southeast Asia. That was the idea. And one day Doggy got an offer that one or two teams, I don't know if he got both, Ethermain and Ether Valkyrie, the players were looking for sponsors because they wanted to have a gaming house to bootcamp before the MPL. Well, during the MPL, what's this called? Group stage? No, what's the regular season? Sorry, until the final of the first season. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, Gemik, I found our entry ticket to get to Philippines. And we can follow the idea of FaZe Clan, which was my idea to begin with, because he never talked about this first. I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Let's find a manager, like do a gaming house, put them in the gaming house, and then at some point before the final, we go there. And we coach them, And we're like, okay, let's do it. We split the cost in half because back then we were pretty much making the same amount of money. He was already making a bit more on YouTube than me, but we were able to split evenly the cost.
Yeah.
And so we took gaming house. We found a manager, an amazing manager that really did everything perfectly for us. A great kid. We got lucky to find a great kid like him because he was really educated. He knew a lot of stuff. He knew a lot of people, and he knew how to get gaming house running and pro team running. So he did everything for us. We just had to pay him, the players. We paid for the gaming house. We paid for the electricity, which sounds stupid, but when you have 10 players in a house with AC all day long, it makes sense. Internet, etc. So it was quite a cost at the end of the month, and we ended up paying for I don't know how many months I paid this. I think 6 months, something like this,
Yeah.
until a bit after the MPL. So we went there. We went to the Philippines. Uh, I went first. Dougie joined me after because he had some stuff to do. He had to meet his family, etc. And we started coaching them. I had a big issue because I wasn't really in touch with the players before coming there, the bootcamp. They really were bad in English. The communication was awful, like completely awful. And I never really thought about it before having a team that didn't speak English properly.
Yeah.
It's actually not possible to coach a team that doesn't speak your language. So I speak French, English, and a bit of Spanish, and none of them were speaking like really well English. If I remember correctly, who's the best in English? I think what was his name? Ognimod was pretty good in English, was decent, but overall it was so hard to have a live interaction with them when they were playing. So I was giving them a bit of heads up, but at some point they grew a bit fed up of me because I wanted to explain them things, hard things, a bit the same way I did with Vitality and after with Evos, and with them it wasn't really working. I could feel like I'm talking about Ether Valkyrie, by the way, not Ether Main that ended up being Bren Esports.
Yeah.
I could feel like they were a bit, I don't know, they were taking a good time and trying their best by playing a lot, but they really didn't want to be the best. I don't know. I didn't find the fighter spirit that you need to have in the team, and they ended up choking entirely in the final, despite me helping them as much as I could. And sadly, I had an argument with Doggy during the final where he started blaming me um, because he said that I didn't coach them enough. The thing he didn't know is that for the 10 days he wasn't there before he arrives, I was actually doing it 8 days, 8 hours a day, all the time, and doing my best. But they were so hot-headed. A couple of them were really had bad temper. One of them actually almost fought with me because he was reacting clearly like a kid. I'm not gonna say his name, but at some point they lost the game, and I tried to calm him down. He left the house, then he came back a few hours after, and I was like, hey, can we talk? And he just passed me like no shit given. I pass you, I don't even say hi or anything. I just go to my room. I was like, dude, I'm paying your salary. I'm giving you a gaming house. I'm coming here to help you guys. You could at least have the respect of listening to me, right? And that was one of the things that started to make me take a bit of distance with them. But overall, we had good relation, right? But they choked because they didn't want to take in all the knowledge I had to give them, or the practice we could have done together.
Yeah.
And Bren Ethermain ended up being the best team. Uh, let's get let's get on that. Bren was good straight up when I arrived. Ethermain was good straight up when I arrived. Before even Dogie arrived, you could see that they were just beating everyone. The way they were working, the way Payne was being the captain, it was more like being the uncle. He was the captain, but he was also really humble, really mature about everything. And his teammates were, how you say that, they trusted him. They had so much confidence in the way he was working that they were just proactive. They were helping him, but they were also listening when problems were arising. So they had a great atmosphere to work with. They had been playing for a long time together. They really liked each other a lot. True friends, all of them. There was no trash talk in the back. There was no weird shit happening. So they were just successful until they won the NPL itself. So yeah, just a great group of people to work with. You have to take into account the state of the team you have when you coach it, or when you look at any professional team. Are the members actually good together? Do you think they have the potential to win? Do they have friendship? Do you think this group of people can actually do something together, or is there any weak link? And
Yeah.
they didn't have that. They had only good potential, good things going their way. And in a world where the other teams were practicing from home, everyone split into different houses, no gaming house, blah blah blah, no professionalism at all. Well, of course they are gonna take their chance and be the best at the first event. Okay, the first event in esport in any game is always the most easy to get, the easiest to get. Okay, they took it, and so this happened. Then I ended up going with Doggy on a holiday for like a week to 10 days, and we started to grow apart a bit because I was getting along really well with his family, but he started to change everything that we invested and we did for Ether project. He started to do it for himself. So he started going to see sponsors for Ether without consulting me or inviting me to the meetings. And he started just living. He was leaving me basically at the house of his family with his family or alone, and he was just going to do the meetings by himself.
Yeah.
He pretexted by that because it was in Tagalog, I didn't have to come because I couldn't understand. But I was like, you never really asked me anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And we started growing apart a bit from this, sadly, because I guess he saw that the potential of this project was going to be good, big, and I guess he could take more from this experience by being the only influencer in the team. So we went back to Europe, and one day he told me, oh, by the way, I sold the Aether main to Bren Esports for zero, for nada. He told me for nothing. He just gave them. He told me that for him, his whole plan all along was just to help the players and to make them find a pro team, which was the idea. That was true. Make them find sponsor that could actually pay for the fees if ever the tournament would ask for fees for the organizers, for the teams, like it happened in Indonesia and in Overwatch, for example. So I was like, yeah, okay, sure. But then he told me the next day, oh, by the way, I'm taking your team to coach them because I don't have a team anymore. I was like, what the fuck, Okay, I was like, yeah, I knew I wouldn't coach them, and if I kept on coaching them, I wanted to change some players. So he wanted to take them as it was, and well, that didn't work because they did even worse at the next NPL. I think they finished like top 11 or something after finishing top 5 with me. So it didn't work at all, and he was like, yeah, could you still keep on playing half of the money? And I was like, what are you doing here? What am I doing? Where is the money I'm putting in it going? And he started acting a bit weird and being a bit I don't know. Yeah, he started being a bit distant and he started being really mad for no reason. Whenever I would talk about money, like it felt like, you give me money and shut up, just let me do it. And I was like, but like, where am I spending my money in? Back then we were making good money because of the Facebook contract we had with Mundun,
Yeah.
which is over now, so I can talk about it. I don't care. So both me and him contract that iPhone for us, by the way. But if you go to ask him, he's gonna say it's him. Thing is, he wasn't even talking with Moontoon back then, so I introduced him to Moontoon. And before AOE arrived, I was talking with Moontoon and I told them, if you guys don't finally give us any streaming contract, because we have been promoting the game for like a year, also a year and a half. And basically we made their game, like me, Doggy, Blue Panda, you, iFlix, we made their game. Without us, who would have done the job we did? Probably no one, because that was us, and that we were not replacing anyone. That was because we were here, we did the job, right? So we kind of went into a negotiation with Moontoon and Tencent to know if any of them were planning on having finally influencers program, because they didn't have, and they got one with Facebook. And we got in because I told them it's easier we go on AOV, all of us, or you take us, all of us, on the influencer program for Mobile Legend. Me, Doggy, we agreed, and iFlex refused, which was a big mistake. But I mean, he wanted to be a pro player, so I completely understand where he was coming from.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went on this, and we're making decent money. But it was still a lot of money. If you look at it from any perspective, from European, American, or whatever, it was still a big amount of money every month I was spending in Ether. And it was more about the money. It was about the friendship I had with Doggy, the trust I put in him, and also the friendship I had with the players and the manager that I had really, really good interaction with when I was in Philippines. So I wanted to continue. I wanted to go in the Philippines and do like the Faceland thing we talked about, dude. I wanted to do those videos, this great, inspiring, entertaining content that the community would love to watch.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the opportunity because I didn't get allowed to do it because I'm not Filipino, and I guess he didn't see the added value of having me anymore outside the money I was giving every month. So the friendship from that point was a bit broken, and the fact that he was in denial on everything I was saying, and he was like, "I don't understand where this is coming from, blah blah blah. Like, why you're acting like this? Why you don't trust me, blah blah." I was like, it's not even about trust. I know what you're doing. Like, I could see I had nothing anymore related to Ether, and he was the one writing the contracts and everything. So I was like, okay, fuck it, just do your thing. It's fine. Just do your thing. If you don't want to give me my money back, then fine. Let's not talk about anything anymore. I mean, let's just stop at this point, and that's it. Back then I didn't want to put him on the blast. No, I don't really care because I'm not really doing much content, but I still believe what he did was really, really mean. And the proof that I'm not making this up is that the manager that we had there knew all along what was happening, and he told me, I have a debt to you because this is so unfair what happened to you, the time and effort, the money you put in this project, and Doggy took it all. That's not fair, that's not cool, so trust me, within a year I will repay you, I'll find you something. And he found me Evos. He's the one who found me the Evos coach thing. Okay, so I'll be forever grateful to this guy because he's the first guy I ever met in my life who told me I have a debt to you because you have been treated unfairly, and I will repay it, and I'll make up for it. You know, so now he's my friend, and honestly, he's gonna be my friend forever. That's a guy you can trust. Like, when you meet someone like this, you have to trust him. Like,
Yeah.
the guy respects his word. The guy has principles and values, and he follows them. So yeah, me and Doki, he went on doing his thing. I knew since I met him, since he was like doing 50 viewers, 40 viewers on YouTube when I took him in. I knew he would be successful. I knew Doggy would have much more success than me because he was talking Tagalog, because he was using this duck face back then, and it was always working for people, and because the community in his country was much more. How do you say, the Filipino market is much more emerging compared to Europe market, English market, etc. and gaming. So I knew he would get it all because he was the first. So I was like, yeah, this guy, if I'm friend with him, that's great. Maybe he's a nice guy. You know, we spent a year and stuff hanging out. He was a cool kid, but you could feel it was a lot about him and a lot about his own success.
Yeah.
That if ever he was in the position of having to make a choice between him or his group, he would take the thing for himself. And that's pretty much what happened. I told myself, nah, I don't think he's like this, blah blah blah. I'm pretty sure he has empathy for others, but that's the difference between me and him, is that I don't think he has much empathy for other people that are close to him. I think it's a lot about business related things and making money. And I think it comes a lot because he went through tough times when he was a kid, like I did. To be honest, we both went through some similar shit. That was really dark times during our childhood, and he has this survival instinct much more developed than me.
Yeah.
But in a way where he thinks that he can only succeed by taking advantage, I guess. Uh, and on my side, even if I went through tough shit, I still trust a lot of people. I still could be this naive guy giving too much time or money into something and be fucked over. But in the end, at least I tried. At least I gave someone an opportunity to show me he could do something great with our collaboration. And that's what I take from this experience. I'm like, at least I gave it a try, gave it a shot. It didn't work like it should have worked, but at least the guy is successful. That's great for him, and I'm sure I can bounce off something different. I'm not. I don't think I'm stupid. I think I can do something on a different sector, or maybe continue on Mobile Legend. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I
that's pretty
mean,
much the story.
at least you learned from the experience, and you did get an opportunity with Evo. So I guess like everything that happened, I guess it was sort of meant to happen, and it made you better. It made you see certain things, and overall, you got a lot from the experiences. You got to make friends. You maybe lost a friend here or there, but ultimately, the experiences is something that you'll never forget, and you'll always take it with you. And I think that everything that you learned throughout it is definitely going to be what helps you become even more successful in the future. So, yeah, man,
True, true.
it's sad that y'all
Agree.
fell out, but um, yeah,
I am blessed, man. I know a lot of people would love to get their shot and be in my shoes. Some of them don't succeed while trying. Some of them don't even try, but just dream about doing it. I think it's good to dream, but you gotta try. But the thing is, yeah, I know I'm blessed. I'm lucky. I got a lot of attention. I got a lot of people looking up to me, watching my content, and like growing as a player, or maybe sometimes as a person, watching some of the stuff I put out there. And I'm just blessed. I'm just happy that
yeah.
I know it helped some people out there. So whenever I feel down, I'm like, you still can look at that in a positive way and be like, you helped so much people, so don't be too hard on yourself, right? You still helped a lot, and you should be happy of being one of those person who helped other. And so I'm like, yeah, that's nothing is all dark or all white, or
Yeah,
it's still a great thing we had on YouTube, and I'm glad it happened. Really, really
yeah,
thankful.
that's great, man. That's great. I'm glad to see you looking at it in a positive way, because that's what's important.
So yeah, just before moving on anything else, just want to precise, because it sounds a bit like I'm complaining a lot about Dougie, but just want to put things in perspective. When I met Dougie, for me, he was a really, really, really funny guy, a really, really nice guy, a caring guy. You could tell back then that he cared a lot about other people. He would be helpful. He was really nice to hang out with. I felt of him like he was a guy more like family slash friendship oriented, who would actually, help bringing up the group of friends he has around him. So he was a really nice guy to be around. And iFlex was a bit the same. He was no, he wasn't a bit the same. He was a really great guy to be around. But uh, I really think the YouTube game, the famous shit, really changed people. And I think it was true for Dougie. It changed him. I saw a few snapshots of clips on YouTube of him during live stream. Some people trying to put him on the blast, and that's true that he's different than how he used to be before. Like I saw him having a rant about how the players in Europe and America were bad, blah blah blah. And I do some comments like this, but I don't I don't think the players at the top in Europe and America are bad. I don't think that. I think the average level is really low. I don't think the players have zero knowledge of what they are doing when in mythical. But I don't think the top players in our region are bad. I really don't think so. I think if they had a blast, if they had a shot at freaking competing, they would be amazing. Because like a lot of them come from League of Legends, Dota. stuff like this, and I have a lot of experience in those MOBAs. But they never had a shot. They will never have a shot at competing in ML. So obviously, you can tell that now, 3 years after, 3 or 4 seasons of MPL later, they are not at the level of the Filipinos. Just No Limit versus a guy from Europe can't compete. Of course, man. One of them is being paid for being a pro player. The other one is working after taking his Nutella break, coming back from school. Come on,
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah.
So stuff like this makes me think Doggy forgot where he comes from. Really, he really forgot where you come from, and that's what happens when you get this famous stuff going to your head. And I'm not in this situation. I kind of gave up YouTube because of this, because of the atmosphere being a bit more sharky and about business, about greed, rather than being fun, entertaining, and about helping each other and stuff.
Yeah.
The money was more something like, okay, I get money, I can pay my rent, I can get some food, that's great. But that's it. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna buy a Mustang or BMW or a Ferrari. I don't give a shit about this. I really don't give a shit. I could have bought one last year. I didn't do it. I don't care. Because it's not about materialistic shit. The only happiness you get is about relationship. It's the only happiness us human social beings we're gonna get, and that's actually genuine. Buying a car, it lasts for 2 hours. You're gonna be happy, and then you're gonna be like, okay, I have a car, that's great. So what's my next objective? And then you always want more and more, and that's where greed comes in. But being with a friend, it's like, I really enjoy this moment. I can't wait to be with my friend again, to meet him again. And that's like this until it can be infinitely, So that's genuine happiness.
Yeah.
And that's what things that's the things that people, especially YouTubers, need to remember, man. That they feel lonely, maybe they think like everyone is trying to take advantage of them, but don't forget where you come from. Don't forget the people who was with you from day one, when you were no one, when you were nothing, and no one gave a shit about what you were doing. Remember those people that were with you, okay? Because they didn't change. They didn't change. They were there. They were the same, and they are the same now. You changed, most likely, because of how your life changed, right? So yeah, take a step back and look at yourself and look at what happened. That's my advice.
I definitely 100% agree with that, man. It's kind of hard. Like when you do come, a lot of us have stories where we come from the bottom. We come from tough environments and rough environments, and when things just completely change, it's very easy to get caught up in the changes and to change yourself and think that it's the other people around you changing. But I think that at a certain point, he's gonna really understand how much you care about him, and I mean some of the things that he may have done wrong, and some of the things that he could have done better and stuff. And I think that he'll really consider it because ultimately, Doggy is the guy that we first met in the community. Like the fame and stuff is just new to him, so he's gonna be himself again. Like it's just time. Like
But
it's just something new going on.
yeah, it's just I respect the hunger. Okay, I respect the fact that your childhood made you fucking hungry and want to succeed more than anyone. But don't become the person you were spitting on a few years ago.
I'm on it. Can't fail for my family.